Hi guys, I'm Rumi and I wanted to talk about an app with you today. The app is called eMobo and it's a free app that I downloaded from iTunes onto my cell phone. And this whole app revolves around the keitai shosetsu. And that's a Japanese phrase. I'm, funnily enough, in Tokyo and that's where I discovered this app, but it translates to cell phone short stories. This has been a pretty rampant element of Japanese culture because there's so much time people spend on the go but also waiting as well. Well, here's what the app looks like. And this is great because since I've moved here, I realize I spend a lot of time on public transport. And not just that, I spend a lot of time just waiting, period, whether it's in a meeting or waiting for the meeting to start or waiting to meet with someone. For those in school, this might be great because of the downtime that you have between classes, or if you're in the middle of a really not so interesting lecture, it's a great way to kind of get your mind off things and get interested in something else. These keitai shosetsu, these short stories really are very short, which is great because for me, sometimes I have just a very short time in between, say, train station stops. But I can read at least one story, if not two or three, in that span of 10 minutes. The download time is very quick, and on average, the chapters within these stories, they range from 4 chapters, which is the equivalent of 4 iPhone pages, to 67 chapters, to 100 and some odd chapters. So the range is great. And also, if you're in the middle of a story and you have to leave the app, it saves your place. So that's great as well. Also, the app allows you to adjust font size as well as background color, which can definitely be handy, depending on how small the font might be. Also, what's great about this app is the selection of genres, which was not something I was anticipating. Here's the catalog page. And if I click on genres, and this is the way I first started looking for stories, as you can see, the list is pretty extensive. It ranges from autobiography to poetry, sci-fi, graphic novels, romance stories. I'm never really at a loss for finding new stories or an interesting genre that I want to keep exploring. And that's another thing too, is once you start reading stories on this app, the app intuitively gets what you're interested in. So it generates a list of suggestions for you depending on your kind of reading history. And also, if you're interested or really into a specific author, you can subscribe to their stories, so you'll get alerts of when new ones come out, which is always great because I usually end up finding a few someones that I really like. I do also like that a lot of these stories, they're by other people, just everyday people. They're not necessarily professional writers, but they have something great and interesting to say. And I get inspired personally by knowing that, hey, these are just people who have either, a great imagination or some great knowledge bank that they want to share with the rest of us. And so this is a curious thing that I didn't even expect. But with this app, there is this built-in reward system. So anytime you achieve what are called moments in the app, whether it's having read a certain number of stories, period, or a certain number of stories within a genre, or if you like to write stories, if you've uploaded a certain number of stories to the app, you get rewarded with some prizes. And they range anywhere from, say, a fast food, free fast food, to an Amazon gift card. I heard some guy actually won an Xbox 360, which for those who like games, that's really awesome. And you do submit, they ask for your email, and I've done this, but that doesn't get sent out to any other third party. It doesn't generate any kind of weird subscription mail. It's simply so that you can actually receive the prize that you've been awarded. So these are all just a few perks, I guess, that I found within this app. Never mind that I just love it for being able to pass the time, because I spend a lot of time waiting. The person who created this app, his name is Derek Vasconi, and he did come up with this idea after he had lived in Japan himself for a few years, and he noticed the rampant keitai shosetsu culture here. As y'all know, the Japanese are pretty into reading their mangas, and the stereotype is true that if you go into any convenience store here, any bookstore, there are a ton of people standing around flipping through magazines or comic books. It's just a part of culture here. So this is a great combination of realizing that we all have time to kill, but we're also constantly on the go. So this app kind of combines the best of those two worlds, where you can still pass the time in an interesting way while you're taking care of the things that you need to. Anyway, so Derek saw that need in the app world. He was like, how do I, merge these two kind of cultures together? And that's how he came up with this app. He was also in a heavy metal band called Second Story Window, for those of you who have heard of that. But yeah, that's pretty much what I've got to say on this app. If you would like more information, there's a website. It's eMobo.org, and it's obviously very easy to download for free on iTunes as well. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.